Hi guys! In today's video I'm going to reveal my secret recipe for tasty chocolate granola. In the first part of this video, I will explain step by step the way how I prepare my granola. In the second part, I will give you a hint for an easier and faster way of preparation. In the last part, I will talk about nutritional benefits of each used ingredient. So let's dive into the video right now. For following an original recipe, we are going to need these ingredients. 250 grams of rolled oats, 100 grams of chia seeds, 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, 1 tablespoon of turmeric powder, 1 tablespoon of cinnamon powder, 3 tablespoons of cacao powder, pinch of salt, 3 tablespoons of honey, 100 grams of dried cranberries, 100 grams of dried apricots, 100 grams of whole almonds. I usually start with preparation of my granola a night before by stirring up my chia seeds with cup of tepsid water. As you can see, I'm using my fingers for this process. In fact, chia seeds should be soaked for a minimum period of 20 minutes before we start consuming them. Apparently, it is better for our digestion. The same thing applies for rolled oats. This ingredient should be soaked in the water for a minimum period of 12 hours. In fact, some types of rolled oats contains a harmful dust which was obtained during the process of it drying. That's the reason why I always rinse it with the boiling water first and straight after I wash it with cold water. I don't squeeze the water off, but also I don't add any extra on top of it. I begin my baking journey next day by preheating the oven to 180 degrees Celsius. Meanwhile, I combine chia seeds with oats in the bowl and spread it on the tray with baking paper. I let it bake for 20 minutes. While I'm baking, I grab my almonds and get them chopped. I've got tiny fingers, therefore I'm handling 2 almonds at a time. Each almond gets divided into 3 pieces. Straight after, I continue with dried apricots. I layer 2-3 apricots on top of each other, then I cut lengthwise in half and in width into smaller pieces. And last but not least, I chop up dry cranberries. That's a bit more time-consuming process. I like to get each cranberry split up into 2 pieces. After 20 minutes of baking, we transfer our creation into the bowl and break it down with a spoon. After this action, it's supposed to look like this. Then we add the coconut oil and we stir it well. Along we add sea salt, cinnamon powder, turmeric powder and cacao powder. Once again we stir it well and spread it onto the tray. This time we lower temperature down to 120 degrees Celsius. Pull out the tray and give it a good stir after 30 minutes of baking. Then we continue baking for 20 minutes more, again on 120 degrees Celsius. Usually I'm using my fingers to give it a proper stir and to break down larger pieces. But we must be careful to don't burn ourselves. Granola is supposed to dry out during the process of baking. I mean, it should evaporate all water which we added at the beginning. We can add honey only when entire granola seems crunchy. We give it a good stir and thereafter we add dried fruit and almonds. Last time, we give it a good stir and spread it onto the tray. We turn off the oven and we keep our granola inside to cool it down. Honey will glue up all ingredients nicely together. Well, this is our final product, healthy and tasty chocolate granola. I'm aware that the method is quite long, but I assure you, it's definitely worth to give it a try. The flavor of this granola is so tasty that sometimes I consume it plain without any milk or yogurt. When our granola is cool, we keep it in the fridge. The best for storaging is this type of container. And now, let me introduce you possibly faster version of preparation. We are still using the same ingredients, but in this case we skip using chia seeds, which we can add later without any doubts. Instead, we add 100 grams more of rolled oats. I was thinking about all the soaking and realized that the aim of the baking is, like I have already mentioned, to evaporate all water to make it crunchy. That's the reason why, in this case of chia seeds, it's probably better to skip them. We still rinse our rolled oats with boiling water and wash it with the cold water. In this case, we squeeze the water off and don't need to let it rest. We can bake it right away. This time on 180 degrees Celsius for 15 minutes. Meanwhile, this older machine called coupe can be very helpful. Place your dried fruits and almonds inside and press the black button. Press it as often as needed to achieve a chopped look of your ingredients. Watch out to don't overmix it into mushy texture, otherwise it will lose the right effect. Modern machines are too strong for this action. 15 minutes after baking, we break down our oats in the bowl using a spoon. We add coconut oil and stir it well. Then we add sea salt, ground cinnamon, ground turmeric, and cacao powder, and again stir it well. We spread it onto tray and bake it about 30 minutes on 120 degrees Celsius. When granola is crunchy, we add honey, dried fruits and almonds. We give it a stir and spread it onto tray. Lastly, we let it cool inside of turned-off oven. As I promised you, let's talk now about all nutritional benefits of each used ingredient. Chia seeds are low on calories. That's why it's recommended for diet with gaining a weight reduction. It consists a high amount of fiber, which is important for our digestion, but also it lowers risk for heart disease. Rolled oats helps to reduce cholesterol. It consists of fiber called beta-glucan, which improves blood sugar levels. As well, it consists magnesium, which helps with depression and migraine. Coconut oil has been ranked as a healthy fat. That's why we should prefer it prior to other oils. Due to being a product higher in calories, we have to be careful with the amount we consume. With an optimal consuming, we may raise good cholesterol in our body, but also it boosts our brain function. Cacao powder lowers our risk of heart attack. We all know that eating chocolate improves our mood, and that's partially job of cacao powder. It consuming may help with the symptoms of depression too. I remind you that I'm talking about cacao powder and not about chocolate. Apparently, this magic powder is a good protection against cancer. Sea salt, in comparison with table salt, keeps our body full of fluids. Table salt just dehydrates us. Sea salt, it's a source of many healthy beneficial minerals. This ingredient might be a good prevention against muscle cramps. Turmeric delays the aging effect. As well, it fights against chronic diseases. This spice is so magical that in some cases it might treat the cancer. Cinnamon is a prebiotic which helps with the healthy process in our guts. It's a good prevention against Alzheimer. This spice is able to higher up our body temperature. That's why many of us prefer to eat it mostly during winter. I personally have it every day included in my granola. Honey is normally healthier than sugar. While choosing the best one, I recommend you to forget about price tag. Cheap honey might be reduced with an unhealthy sweeteners. This remedy has a healing and anti-inflammatory properties. That's the reason why we should grab it when we need to soothe our sore throat. Almonds are an amazing source of vitamin E, which is very important for our body. Same as other nuts, almonds helps with our concentration. As well, it delays aging by supporting our skin elasticity. Cranberries are antioxidants containing enormous amount of vitamin C, which is important for our immunity. For us women, it helps to lower risk of urinary tract infection. Cranberries decreases blood pressure. Apricots support our eye health thanks to vitamins A and E. It also protects our skin against pollution. Consumption of apricots prevents bloating, and it is mostly due to presence of potassium. If you would like to see more videos about cooking and baking, then please subscribe to this channel. Thank you very much, and I wish you funny baking and enjoy your granola.